So what we are seeing is very interesting. Many emerging markets and even some low-income countries have gotten the lesson of history that if you have strong institutions, you can withstand shocks better. We did a study and it shows that those emerging markets where they made the investment in strong institutions and good policies, if a shock is to come, would have 0.5 percentage up to 1 percentage point higher growth, and they would have 0.6% lower inflation because they have these fundamentals right. Some of this, they have created independent central banks, they have created fiscal councils, some of them have put fiscal rules in place, they built reserves to protect themselves, and this is not a small part of emerging markets. So, in a way, what I fear is that now we see some of the advanced economies being a bit more leisurely. Well, here in this country, there are discussions around independence of the Fed. That is something emerging markets learned. Don't touch, let them do their job. We are safer when we have it. We have to recognize that there are vulnerable middle-income countries that have not done this hard work, they haven't built foundation for growth, they haven't built reserves. When a shock comes, they're in trouble. And then there are vulnerable countries because of their location on this planet and their vulnerability to climate shocks. They can see 200% of GDP lost just by one day of hurricane. And that is a different, not that they don't want to be resilient, but they are in a very difficult position. And then we have low-income countries, fragile states. So when you look at the world, what you see is I'll give you a number, 100 poorer countries, middle-income and poor countries, hold somewhere between 3 and 5% of global reserves. 10 countries hold 2/3 plus of global reserves. And this is where we come into play. The IMF, the World Bank, we are there to provide extra layer of resilience. And yet, I think it would be much better if we are more proactive in creating opportunities, creating jobs, building a bridge between the capital in the north that is now here to the labor in, say, in Africa, where there are young people eager to have a job. So as a world, where I'm concerned about the current developments is that we are losing sight of some of the big, from a humane standpoint, big questions. How do we have a world that is converging? It used to be that the idea was, and trade was the transmission line for this convergence, that you are poor, then you do labor-intensive stuff, then you get richer, then expand in manufacturing, and you go up like this. And now what is going to be compensatory for the loss of this transmission line? And Tarman, I would urge us, when we think about configurations for the future, to also think about this, because it is morally right, but also because it is in our own self-interest. If we have a diverging world, it would be a more insecure world for all of us.
Can I add just one word? Yeah. Because there is a great study that you did at the IMF, which shows as well that trade is conducive to innovation. If we put a brake on trade, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot when it comes to innovation, and productivity is one thing that we absolutely need.